to go to that next level.
She's an interesting horse because you look at her pedigree and you'd think, no, you're not a 2,000 metre horse, but you look at her on type and you say, absolutely you are. So it's a really interesting cross there. She looks beautiful. She's been very well prepared.
John Sargent knows a thing or two about the Wakeful. He won it 3 times in the space of 5 years between 2013 and 2017. He has the 5 Powers of Opal, who was simply dominant, taking care of her maiden at Hawkesbury.
Some sort of performance that, wasn't it? She won by 5 or nearly 6 lengths and just toyed with the opposition under light riding. J-Max sticks, right stable, up in trip should suit. Plenty of positives about the favourite.
Yeah, there's nothing to dislike about her from a yard point of view either. She's doing everything right. I love her pedigree. Ocean Park out of an Alamosa mare. She just wants this kind of trip all day, every day.
6 Hurry Curry won the Oaks Trial here in September before being midfield in the Ethereal.
Yeah, I tipped her last start. I was a bit disappointed in her last effort, but I don't want to read too much into that. It's just the one run at Caulfield. She comes back to Flemington. She has a pedigree which suggests she can improve, and I wouldn't be surprised if she turned it around.
No, me either, Hutch. I think she looks absolutely spot on. She's got a great athletic frame, love her pedigree, love her as a type, and she's here to run the race of her life from what I can see.
Tim Clark, Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott combined last year to win this race with Amazonian Lass. Here they have the 7 Killcare Beach Girl, 6th in the Ethereal, 3rd in the Manifold Prior. Could be a tough day to be on speed and lead all the way.
And that is an issue because when she last competed in the Ethereal, it probably wasn't a bad spot, and she started $4.20 there, and I thought she had her opportunity. So with a few things against today, she's going to find it harder.
She's here to run well. I think she's got the crossover on for the first time, and she's accepting of that particularly well. She's wandering around here like she's been here 100 times before, and she's a lot older than what her race experience suggests.
8 Our Paramore, just her 2nd career start. She was placed behind Hurry Curry in the Oaks Trial before winning her maiden at 2,000 plus at Cranbourne.
Time was just okay, but she started $1.35 at Cranbourne, so the market was all over her, and she's proven over the trips you don't have that to worry about. Blake Shins are positive, but there's no question it's a much harder race.
It definitely is, but you look at her and it's no surprise to have seen her won over 2,000 at her last start. That's exactly the type and shape that she is. She just looks like an out-and-out, nice, progressive, staying filly going forward.
The second of John Sargent's runners in the Wakeful is the 10 Inevitable Truth. Sorry, we've got the 9 Rapid Chevelle to go first of all. Jamie Mott is in the saddle, was 8th in the 1,000 Guineas Prelude. This is quite the audacious plan from the Lambing stable.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, it's a sharp rise of distance. I really don't know. She's got to do something she hasn't really done thus far. She was okay late over in the Guineas Prelude, so we'll have to wait and see. I think she's hard to tip though.
One thing, the Lambing stable, they do like targeting these staying types. Looking at her, she's a big, tall, rangy girl. She's, you know, very big for a 3-year-old filly. She stands over a fair bit of ground, lovely action, so on type, and obviously what they're seeing at home, they think this distance will suit.
Note that Jamie Mott is riding a ½ kilo over on Rapid Chevelle. James McDonald a ½ kilo over on Powers of Opal. 10 Inevitable Truth, the second of the Sargent runners. 2nd in the Oaks Trial, then 4th in the Ethereal.
She can win the Oaks and she can win today. Flemington up in trip, or staying at the trip, I should say, will be good. She was excellent against the pattern last time.
Yeah, she looks great, this horse. She's dappled up all over her hindquarters. She's so strong, so athletic. I think she's a gorgeous filly, this.
11 Chocolates. What an effort this would be at just her 3rd career start and off a Bendigo maiden in early October to win the Wakeful.
Didn't smash the clock, but was smashed in the betting, $1.45. Harder race, but an improving filly, no doubt.
I've got a lot of time for this filly. It's the first time I've seen her, and she's one that I've marked as one of my top picks. I think she looks sensational. She's got a lot of class about her. Who knows if she's up to this grade at this early stage in her career, but I think that she's definitely one to watch going forward, and it most definitely wouldn't surprise me to see her run out of her skin in this.
12 She Nailed It. Moe Mile Maiden was her 3rd career start.
If you're having a first forward trifecta, you could throw this one in, can run well at a price. Wasn't bad at Moe, ran reasonable time, and I think this is a horse that deserves some respect, albeit only her 4th career start.
Yeah, definitely commands respect. She looks well. The team have presented her here in fantastic order. Of course, it's a tougher race, but they've done their job.
Orestia won it as a maiden in 2018. That's the task ahead of the 13 All Kinds of Folk, who was 4th in the Manifold 2-back.
That was a good run. She was disappointing in the Ethereal, but so were a few others. I think you've got to judge her on the Flemington run. She gets another go at 2,000 here, and I think back to headquarters will really help.
lovely athletic type of horse. I think that it is a bit of a tough ask in sort of a race, but she's presented here to run really well by the team.
14 is scratching. Jordan Childs looking to double up after the win on Mahaba earlier. He rides the 15, Ziggy Rose.
She's still a maiden. She's looking as though she'll appreciate the step up in trip, but she needs to bring a new level of form. I will say she struck 2 heavy tracks. Maybe they haven't been ideal.
Another horse, I think she's found a tough assignment here. There's some beautiful looking fillies that are been racing in tougher races. I think the team have got her here looking great. She's got a good athletic frame on her, lovely type, but it is a tough race.
Zardozi, the Oaks winner last year, was the one doing the chasing in the Wakeful behind Amazonian Lass before prevailing on Thursday. Ethelfled 4th was then the Quinella horse in the Oaks. HKJC Whirlpool Wakeful Stakes over 2,000 metres. Hutch, a key pointer to Thursday's feature. Hard not to be with Powers of Opal.
Yeah, it is. Plenty of odds on now, but yeah, she was super impressive recently. I think Jenny's Meadows getting out to an attractive quote. I treasure the moment. I want to keep safe, but I do have some queries over the distance, which won't worry the inevitable Truth, who just looks over the odds at $20 to me. I went 5-1-2-10.
I'm just still trying to get my head around what an impressive yard this is. I'm going to go Hurry Curry on top. I thought that she looked absolutely spot on today. There's a number of fillies. There's so much depth in this. They've been presented in impeccable order, as you'd expect in a quality race like this, and a time-honoured race too. But I am with Hurry Curry. Another couple of horses I thought Treasure the Moment looked fantastic. Chocolates, I thought this horse is beautiful. It's the first time seeing her. Would not surprise me to see her run a bold race in this as well. I thought both of Sarge's horses look great. It is a deep, deep race, but I'm with Hurry Curry.
Well, it is outside of the favourite. Now $1.90 on Derby Day. This is a fair dinkum crack, this one. So race 5, number 5, Powers of Opal, a good go. Heavily backed with Sportsbet into $1.90 the red. $5.50 to field now. Treasure the Moment. You got the Drift from the opening quote at $3.60, and also Jenny's Meadow out with the weight of money. Hurry Curry, Amy's pick of the yard, is nice and firm. Now here's highest on bet count, numbers that you want to think about for putting in your quaddie. Race 6 for the Coolmore, 1, 3, 5 and 14. In race 7, this is the Derby, the favourite Red Ace, El Costello Red Aces, King of Thunder and Gold Rush Guru, 1, 2, 8 and 4. And then in race 8, it's just the 3. 1 a Tissue, 2 Amelia's Jewel, 13, Plenty of Ammo. And in the lucky last, Sands Doot, Infancy and Pondalawi, 3, 7 and 19 have been the best backed. That's by the books, not our opinion. It's what the sports bet punters are suggesting. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number or visit the website.
Inevitable Truth and Powers of Opal present John Sargent with a 2-pronged attack to try and win his 4th edition of the Wakeful ahead of Thursday's Oaks. John, we can set our watch by you having gallopers in this race on an annual basis. How have they handled the occasion?
Yeah, no, very well. I was very happy how they paraded. They weren't too excited. It's a huge crowd and you wonder about that, but they seem fine.
What was James's feedback from experiencing what Powers of Opal was able to unleash with that fantastic maiden win?
He just said today he'll try and hide her away midfield and wait till sort of the tower or halfway up the straight. He knows she's got to turn a foot. Now he knows her and hopefully she'll produce it today.
How beneficial was Inevitable Truth having a look at the Flemington circuit via the Oaks Trial, do you think?
Yeah, I think that was a big help. She's more a get back from the draw today, hitting the line, and that'll top her off for the Oaks. So I would pick she'd be a very good chance in the Oaks. Today might be a bit short.
Is one or the other more favoured by the conditions of the day, both in terms of the wind and the firmer footing?
Probably Powers of Opal. She can hide away. She's got a very good turn of foot. Might suit her today, but see what happens by about 2 minutes away.
Good luck, John.
Thank you.
JD Hayes, I thought Jenny's Meadow, gee, she looks well in the yard today.
No, she's really holding her condition nicely and absolutely thriving. So she's rock hard fit, loves Flemington, and we're really excited to see how we go here.
Now, I'm a big wake up to you boys when you have gear changes. Blinkers going on today. I know that usually means business.
Yeah, no, absolutely, because if she performs here, obviously there's the big race on Thursday that we think she'd be suited down to the ground too, and yeah, it's just perfect timing. So hopefully we had the one eye on just because she was laying in, but she's been going beautifully straight her last couple, and yeah, thought it was time to apply both.
What have you asked Ethan to do?
We've really left it in his hands. He rode a beautiful last start, but we're hoping to be no worse than 3 pairs back and get into the outside of the horses. And yeah, we'll be hoping to blend into it away from this, get a bit of wind cover and be asking the question at the 300.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Common theme, Mike, a lot of them wanting cover now with that wind picking up.
And I think Powers of Opal maps to get that. He should probably be 3 pairs back, 1 off the fence, so he's going to get a beautiful run just forward in midfield, so about 5th or 6th, and the horses out wide, they're going to be going, we either go forward into the wind or else we go back to find some cover. So it's a thing that plays in jockeys' minds when this happens. You've got to think, what do I do? Where am I drawn? What's the horses that are going to give me some good cover? So it'd be interesting. But John Sargent, he's done it before. He does it on an annual basis. As Nigel was saying before, he uses this race into an Oaks and he's performed it and pulled it off, and I think he can do it again.
Got a couple of nice horses here. I was a bit surprised, Simon, to see Inevitable Truth get out so much in the bed. I mean, I thought her run in the Ethereal contained a bit of merit.
17 to 19, if you want to go with that, us, Hutch. She'll be there. Barrier 14, she'll go back, look for a little bit of cover. But, you know, if you're James McDonald, you're probably thinking Zardozi back before he won the Oaks on her. He just gave her a real quiet ride, didn't really worry about the first half of the race, and then produced her with the last 400.
Yeah, but I think the position from where he's drawn, the Treasure Moment and Kilcar Beach will go forward, so you get a nice sit.
All right, they're starting to load up here for the Wakeful. Let's go to Matt Hill.
Came off second best. So whilst that is happening, Rapid Chevelle is about to come along with also Kilcare Beach Girl. Some news coming through here. Hello, yes. Yeah, no worries. Thank you. Yes, so Jamie Carr hit in the mouth. That's been confirmed with that horse playing up. So they've taken Rapid Chevelle out, and now the doctor's having a look at Jamie Carr. Now the doctor over there is having a look at Jamie. The horse has flicked its head back and hit Jamie in the mouth. So obviously a little bit of claret has to be cleaned up over there. The doctor having a look at Jamie, and they've taken Rapid Chevelle out of the machine as a result. So we have just a slight delay before they move up here for the running of the Wakeful. So, yes, we have just this this slight delay here. The other horses milling around. Hurry Curry was to be the second horse into the stalls. And I can see Jamie's got a tissue in her left hand, and the club doctor holding her nose at the moment. This is not unusual. This can happen when the horse just flicks its head. And Hurry Curry was just in a little bit of a mood. They moved the horse in with a barrier blanket, and a couple of cracks. The horse tried to lift and flicked its head back twice. So Hurry Curry, who is a $14 chance on the tote, and on VOP he hasn't moved at the $14 mark. And it's one of those frustrating moments for a jockey, I suppose, because Jamie is absolutely fighting fit. It's just she's just got a little bit of a blood nose at the moment. So we will we'll just have to wait and see how this transpires.
All right, we are in a holding pattern at the moment. Of course, most unfortunate incident there, Simon.
Well, it does happen. You're riding an animal and they're up and about and they're ready to rock and roll, and when they snap their head back really quickly, sometimes they pull the reins out of your hands, Michael, push you forward, then snap their head back, and they collect you right on the snozzer there. So obviously Jamie Carr's been whacked right in the point of the nose. Doctor just checking out the... well, the line and length there, if you don't mind, but she's obviously bleeding, so they're just going to wait for that blood to stop. A concussion test is the question mark. Your day and age, Michael, did you have an experience like it, and what did the doctors say to you behind the gates?
Very lucky, Simo. Me being a Māori, I have a flat nose, so I don't have a peaking one. So a couple of times I got hurt, but never really bled.
So Jamie's obviously saying, look, I'm fine, I'm clear, and everything's good to stop the bleeding so we can get on with it. But anyway, they'll make sure she's at 110%, that's for sure. The filly looks a little bit revved up behind, right in the middle of that shot near the barriers there, being led around rideless. So she's a bit antsy. Hurry Curry.
What would you do, Simo? You're going to go and block so you don't get the nose hit again, or...?
It's completely up to Jamie. I mean, she's obviously talking clearly to the doctor here, on-course doctor, and it's just a matter of stopping the blood. I don't think she can ride with cotton balls up the snozzer. She needs to breathe properly and that sort of thing. So they'll just give her the opportunity and wait for the blood to stop and make a decision.
Yep, so they'll assess that in the next couple of minutes. I think they'll work that out pretty quickly. Most of the horses on the plus side seem to be handling it all pretty well. On that note, let's head back on course to Matt Hill.
Okay. Now it's coming out. Hurry Curry has been stood down. Jamie Carr's been stood down by the doctor. Hurry Curry is coming out. Now, take note, Jamie Carr has been stood down by the doctor at the barriers, so Hurry Curry is a late scratching. Number 6, Hurry Curry, has been taken out at 3:03. Jamie Carr has been stood down by the club doctor. They haven't been able to stem the bleeding out of Jamie's nose, so Hurry Curry is being taken away from the barriers and is a late withdrawal. 3:03 scratching time officially for Hurry Curry, number 6, and the field about to load up. So there is the roller coaster of racing with Jamie winning earlier with another will, and now she can't ride, which is very frustrating for Jamie Carr. So we're down to a field of 13 with Powers of Opal, who is into odds on $1.95 now on VOP, getting in very, very tight, $1.80 on the tote. So the field about to reset itself, and Rapid Chevelle will repeat the process and be the first one into the gates. So the track being cleared. So the loading process getting underway again. Rapid Chevelle at 50-1 is the first one into the stalls. Rapid Chevelle going up into barrier number 1. Rapid Chevelle is in, all kinds of focus forward with She Nailed It. Talisay is about to come along with Killcare Beach Girl. El Paramore about to join them. Chocolate is also coming forwards. Treasure the Moments is about to load. $1.80 on the tote, Powers of Opal. So a little bit of drama. Roller coaster this sport, isn't it? Win a race like a Group 2 Damien Oliver and then get stood down by the doctor half an hour later. The roller coaster ride of a jockey. Jamie Carr having a little bit of a laugh with the doctor over there as I have a look at her, but she'd be frustrated. She's still holding the tissue up to her nose, so obviously that bleeding has continued, and you can't ride under those circumstances. So she'll go into the room and try and patch herself up, but we'll follow what happens for the rest of the day. She's got such an important ride on Traffic Warden in the Coolmore Stud Stakes. Gold Rush Guru's a massive hope in the Derby. Amelia's Jewel in the Empire Rose Stakes, and a little deep in the Furphy, so she's got a terrific book. Now Ziggy Rose here, number 15, is playing up. The 100-1 shot, wanting to back away. Is in a bit of a mood here, Ziggy Rose, and the barrier attendants dressed up in their Penfolds gear. About 5 of them are about to latch arms here to try and get Ziggy Rose near the stalls. In Her Eyes is about to join them with Ben Allen, and also Powers of Opal with James McDonald. He won this race 2 years ago on Zen Zeller, keeping the favourite away from all this action. So the attendants latching arms now with Ziggy Rose, number 15, and Ziggy Rose not too keen on things at the moment. Powers of Opal and James McDonald very relaxed to their side. $1.70 now on the tote, Powers of Opal. You're getting $1.90 on Victorian official price. So I'm thinking that the starter's not going to have too much patience here with this one. It's a 200-1 shot with bookmakers, and we've already had a late scratching. So this race now 7 minutes behind advertised starting time. Oh, now Ziggy Rose wanting to lash out now and almost connected with one of the attendants there. So they're going to try and trot her up. I reckon their patience will be starting to wear a bit thin. She doesn't want to go near the stalls. Oh, now she's lashing out too. She's in a real mood, Ziggy Rose, number 15. And I reckon they're just about going to give up, judging by the body language of the attendants. Yeah, she's going to come out too, I reckon. Now we're waiting for Ziggy Rose, who I don't think is going to participate here. The clerk of the course is taking Ziggy Rose away. They couldn't get her near the stall. She lashed out a couple of times. Powers of Opal has gone forwards, and In Her Eyes is about to join them. Now another late scratching coming through. 3:07 scratching time. Number 15, Ziggy Rose. They couldn't load her, so another late scratching. Number 15, Ziggy Rose, a late withdrawal. So some drama here. We're down with those scratchings now to a field of 12 in the Wakeful, and the field is set now. Track just has to be cleared with Ziggy Rose being taken away with the clerk of the course. Powers of Opal, it must be said, has been very relaxed through all of this and is standing very patiently in that middle gate, trained by John Sargent, who's won this race 3 times. So they will clear the course with Ziggy Rose just on the turn out of the straight at the moment, and the clerk of the course will bring her towards the gate near the winning posts, and then once that happens, we'll be on our way. Powers of Opal into an odds-on favourite here. 38 horses have won this race and gone on to win the Oaks on Thursday. Always a massive form guide for the Fillies Classic. So Ziggy Rose being taken off the track. Powers of Opal drawn a centre stall. Jenny's Meadow standing well inside of her with Treasure the Moment. Track is now cleared and the field is set. Stand by. The Wakeful. Gates are back and they're racing. Inevitable Truth towards the outside. Jumped well with Killcare Beach Girl over towards the rails from Rapid Chevelle, Jenny's Meadow. And out deeper on the course, She Nailed It. And they were followed by Treasure the Moment, who got up to 5th. A length and a half away, Powers of Opal. Then came Inevitable Truth, who sits on the outside of All Kinds of Folk. A length and a half, Talisay and Chocolates. Then our Paramore, and last of all is In Her Eyes as they reach the 1,500 metres. Killcare Beach Girl, the leader. An uncontested lead from She Nailed It, then Jenny's Meadow third, one off the fence. Rapid Chevelle is fourth, the rails, a length and a quarter, Treasure the Moment, and they're 2 lengths Powers of Opal, followed by All Kinds of Folk and Inevitable Truth. A length and a quarter away, Talisay and Chocolates, 2 lengths our Paramore, and last is In Her Eyes at Chiquita Lodge at the 1,200 metres. The leader is Killcare Beach Girl, led at an even speed by 3/4 of a length, She Nailed It. A length and a half, Jenny's Meadow, then Rapid Chevelle, a length and a quarter, Treasure the Moment, a length and a half, Powers of Opal. Then came along the inside All Kinds of Folk at the 1,000. Next, Inevitable Truth, a length Chocolates, 3/4 Talisay, 2 lengths our Paramore, and last is In Her Eyes. Killcare Beach Girl, 800 metres to go. Getting quite a good run in front under Tim Clark from She Nailed It. Jenny's Meadow was third, the outside of Rapid Chevelle. Then came Treasure the Moment as Jenny's Meadow left the running line there and pulled 3 wide. Treasure the Moment has her back. All Kinds of Folk making up some ground on the inside. Powers of Opal's going to be one of the widest horses in the check jacket, then Inevitable Truth, and behind those horses is Talisay. So they reach the 350. Killcare Beach Girl with Jenny's Meadow 2 lengths off her. Treasure the Moment's running on hard, and Powers of Opal the outside. Treasure the Moment takes up and took the front. Goes about a length and a half clear of Powers of Opal. Killcare Beach Girl is whacking on. 100 to go. Treasure the Moment extends 2 lengths Powers of Opal and has it won. Treasure the Moment lapping up 2,000 metres. A very good win. Treasure the Moment from Powers of Opal. 4 lengths Killcare Beach Girl. Then Inevitable Truth, and behind them Rapid Chevelle. Next in the field was Talisay, Jenny's Meadow, All Kinds of Folk, our Paramore, Chocolates, and then came She Nailed It and In Her Eyes.
How about that? What an impressive performance from Treasure the Moment. 2,000 metres, no problem whatsoever. Beautiful run in transit. Damien Lane, quick peek over the shoulder, and the job is done, defeating the short price favourite Powers of Opal. Killcare Beach Girl back in third, with Inevitable Truth staying on for fourth. No doubt about the winner. That was impressive. Treasure the Moment in those Yulong colours. As we head over to SA following that delay from Flemington, let's head over to Terry and John, I should say.
A spectacular spring for Yulong continues. This time it's Matt Laurie putting the polish on Treasure the Moment, who made a one-act affair of the Wakeful. There's not much these Alabama Expresses can't do, Matty. She was foaled 3 years ago yesterday. Do you anticipate you're going to have an Oaks filly on your hands?
Well, look, to be honest, we knew she had something there early days, and you know, we just need to be a little bit patient. But yeah, she's got a great temperament. I mean, she relaxed beautifully today, and I was confident a long way out. So, yeah, we're looking forward to Thursday.
Sort of the hallmark often in an Oaks that it's the classy filly and the one who possesses that capacity to relax rather than having some sort of stout endurance pedigree that prevails. Do you feel like she's got that composition?
Yeah, look, I know she's out of a street cry mare and there's a bit of staying blood, like, you know, further down the page. But I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to pick an individual. And if you were trying to purchase a stayer, this horse, you know, paraded as a yearling, she screams that. So, you know, it was never an issue for me. Her work last weekend was, you know, suggested she was more than up to this company. And yeah, look, you know, it's great to train a winner for Yulong, Mr. Zhang. They've been really supportive of me, and yeah, can't wait till next week.
To your eye, how did things play out against what Damien Lane's race plan going in was?
Well, it's just sort of I mean, we knew we'd be sort of close enough. You know, it didn't look much pace on paper, but the instructions were just to get her to switch off. You know, we really wanted her to do it the right way, and knowing that, you know, we're a chance to step out over a little bit further, and it couldn't have been executed any better.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Cheers. 9 years success on Treasure the moment for Matt Laurie. Damien, anticipating she was going to be able to relax and produce that over 2,000 metres?
Wasn't sure, that was the question. My confidence built once I was in the race because she just relaxed so well and the speed was only moderate, so I thought it's going to be a sprint home, and the further I got into the race, the more confident I got.
How do you benchmark her against a filly like Aristia, who was able to win this as a maiden and then progress 5 days later to the big one?
Yeah, pretty similar actually. Both give similar sort of feels. She's run the 2,000 out well today. I think if she pulls up well and comes through it, she's going to be really hard to beat Thursday.
What's the update on conditions both underfoot and regards to this breeze?
The track's firming up as you'd expect with the good weather and the wind. Strong headwind from the 1400 round to the 600 there, so I think we're seeing the effect of that on the front runners. But yeah, overall track's in good condition.
The first of 8 across the 2024 Melbourne Cup Carnival. What a race this has become since it earned Group 1 status in 2006. The Coolmore Stud Stakes for the 3-year-olds. Up the Flemington Straight with $2 million, yet so much more on the line. We start our preview with the 2 in Coleman, and the fact that he sits on about the 6th or 7th line of betting indicates how strong this race is. Placed in a golden slipper, he tackled a Moira and a Manicato against the older horses earlier in the spring and was second in the Roman Consul.
He started favourite in that Roman Consul and was good behind Switzerland, so might be a little bit of value. He's, like you said, he's got some great credentials. There's just a few others I prefer ahead of him.
There's nothing wrong with the way that he parades. He looks $1 million, this horse. I think he's rock hard fit, looks incredibly healthy. He's got a good, happy look on his face. I don't think the team could have him here any better.
We jump to the 6 in First Settler. Hard to knock his form. He's only been defeated once. That was behind Growing Empire here in the Poseidon.
And proven down the straight as well. So he's got excellent credentials. They've targeted this race. And I think with further potential improvement, he's in the game and a good bit of value.
Yeah, I love this horse. I've always been a big fan of his. I think he looks absolutely perfect today. He's rock hard fit. You can see just a nice amount of rib. The team have poured plenty of work into him for this. I think that he's here to run very well.
To the 7 in Bodyguard, who's got straight track credentials, a winner of a Maribyrnong trial here on debut on Turnbull Day 12 months ago. He was first up on a slow track in the Danehill. He's had a month between runs.
Maybe it was the ground, although he won on a soft track when he won the Maribyrnong trial that you've referenced. That said, he needs to improve a lot on what he did in the Danehill. He was beaten 6 lengths behind Growing Empire. Sorry, First Settler on that occasion.
He's such a good-looking horse. He's just equine perfection as a type. He looks fantastic. He's super healthy. He's moving well, and he's lovely and composed.
To the 8 in Gatsby's, who has the blinkers applied, second in the Heritage, when an odds-on favourite, and then not a factor in the Switzerland 1 Roman Consul.
I wonder if he's a little bit better with some juice in the track, so the drying track may not help. The gear change could. He trialled well recently. He jumped out nicely down the straight, and he certainly seemed more switched on with the blinkers.
Yeah, another horse, no surprise to see presented in fantastic order. He's a lovely, relaxed customer. He's conserving his energy beautifully.
Chris Waller having won 5 of the last 11 editions of the Coolmore. We then move to the 9 in Stolly Bolly, who is a winner at the Valley on AFL Grand Final Eve, and then top 3 in the Gothic.
On a heavy track, I love that run, and it was a high rating win at the Valley off a solid tempo. So this is a horse that might be flying under the radar a little. Geez, a big price at 50. His overall form is quite sound, and I thought there were excuses even in the Gothic.
Oh, he looks awesome again. He's just been getting better and better every single start, if that's possible. I've always been in love with this horse's action. He moves so powerfully. Today's no different. He's rock hard fit. He's maintained in just perfect order.
Next up, we have the 10, which is Yoshinobu, who, of course, was placed in the Roman Consul, and just going to have a little bit to find, I think, on that performance. Was a sound enough effort? I'm not sure if it is the right form reference.
He's quite a big, tall, sort of athletic type of horse. You can see that he's a nice type, but he's far taller than a lot of his opposition in this race. He is just getting a bit warm on his neck and a little bit between his back legs, but what he's doing isn't going to have any impact on the way that he's performing.
So that's the 10 in Yoshinobu, who has had the benefit of a jump out up the Flemington Straight last Friday. To the 11 in Enriched, Jai McNeil is aboard, as he was for the top 3 finish in the Danehill.
Sound effort behind First Settler in the Danehill, and once again that experience down the straight should bode well. Not sure whether the preferred barriers will be. In the previous events we've had horses drawn more towards the inside, but he's an improving horse who could hit the frame.
He's a really lovely horse. He's a quality type. I think that he's here in perfect order, as you'd expect. I sound a little bit like a broken record, but he's another horse that's right in it on the way that he looks.
The nose roll comes off. The blinkers go on the 12 in Gallant Sun, who's been a beaten favourite behind Stolly Bolly at the Valley, and then in the Gothic.
Very good run behind Stolly Bolly, though. That was fresh up, chased to hot speed, and might have just felt the pinch on the heavy track next time out. Gear change for him. Certainly a horse I've got time for. He's hard to tip at this point, but he's more than capable, I think, with some improvement.
He's another horse that's moving particularly well. He's very mature. He's very professional on race day. I don't mind the blinkers going on him. He is quite a relaxed sort of customer. I think that could only do his chances good, but he's presented in great shape. I think he's taken natural fitness benefit out of that Gothic Stakes run.
It's filly 6, Colts and Geldings 12 since this race has been a Group 1. 2 really good chances amongst the fillies. The 13, Lady of Camelot. The Golden Slipper winner was top 4 in the Everest.
Yeah, she's a fantastic chance. She was great in the Everest. Her form, this preparation against the more seasoned opposition's been terrific. Back against their own age group. Probably drawn to advantage if the other straight race is anything to go by. And she's a quality filly.
She looks absolutely spot on. I can see great tone over her midsection there. She's moving well. She's got a great action on her. I think she's one of the top chances.
Come back to the 14, Bellatrix Star. Back to the 1, Growing Empire. Won the McNeil, won the Poseidon, almost won the Manicato. He was the best of the 3-year-olds in the Everest.
Yeah, just touched off right on the line in the Manicato, but his form is just so hard to fault. I think he brings the premium form levels. He showed he's up to weight for age, back against his own age group. I love Zara going back on as well. Mark's got a terrific record on him. I think it all bodes well for Growing Empire today.
He looks great, just really, really ripped. He's spot on with his fitness. I think the trip away even up to Sydney and back again, it's done him good. He's so mature in his mind and in his frame.
Jamie Carr cleared to ride. She stays on the 3 in Traffic Warden, who won a Sires here at 2. Jamie Carr was also in the saddle for his runner-up effort behind Manal in the ATC Sires.
First crack here down the straight, but has jumped out well. Good, excellent effort in the Golden Rose around broadsiding. It's terrific form. Back in trip shouldn't be any issue, and Jamie Carr with James Cummings, it has a nice ring to it.
He's the ultimate professional, this horse. He had the pre-race muffs going today to keep him calm. He's just being absolutely bulletproof out here. He looks spot on.
James Cummings used the Golden Rose as the pathway for In Secret to win this race 2 years ago. The 4 in Better Creek backs up from winning last Saturday's Red Anchor.
It was a bit of a surprise, but not to the Corstons team. And you know, on the backup, progressive horse. He's a talent. I think he surprised a few there, and maybe he can do it again here.
He looks super again. He's bounced through that most recent run in great shape. He's rock hard fit, so if he's up to this class, he's presented here to runners up to his looks.
As they did in the Coolmore Navy a couple of years ago, James McDonald and Chris Waller looked to do a home affairs with a 5 Switzerland.
Yeah, terrific win in the Roman Consul, of course, and that was after settling handy in the Run to Rose and arguably a touch plain, but you know, I still think he needs to improve on that last effort, but you've got J Mac and Chris Waller targeting this race. Would have to give Switzerland plenty of respect.
He's a lovely scopy horse. He covers over a little bit more ground than what some of these other compact sort of types do, but he's lovely and relaxed. He's had the stallion chain on in the mounting yard. He's been a gentleman as it's just come off. He looks beautiful.
The second of the fillies is the 14 Bellatrix Star, who has continued to improve, winning the Cup d'Antibes, then the Champagne, then beating the older horses in the Scalacci.
We've seen some of that Scalacci form work out already so far today, of course, with Mahaba. So she's a real talent. I don't know where the ceiling is, but one thing's for sure, she's proven down the straight. She keeps going particularly well, and I think she's a great winning chance again today.
Yeah, I think she's one of the main chances too. She looks great. She came in late and then out with the pony. She's a quirky girl, but she's been on her best behaviour for her.
It was an upset last year. Osmosis being off a beaten effort when third in the Roman Consul, won this for Björn Baker and Rachel King, defeating I Am Unstoppable and Shinzo. What a race it is. The first of our 8 Group 1s across the 2024 Melbourne Cup Carnival. The Coolmore Stud Stakes and Hutchie with Growing Empire.
I've been a fan for a while, and I'm banking on him back against his own age group, proving too good. Look, Bellatrix Star, she's remarkable in her own right and bidding for 4 in a row, and it would certainly be a big win. Traffic Warden first of the others. It doesn't end there. It's an open race. 1:14, 3 and 6 from me.
I'm with you, Hutch. God give him strength. I'm with Growing Empire. I thought this horse looked absolutely spot on, but I mean, to be fair, every horse in this mounting yard looked incredible. There is so much depth in this race. There are so many nice horses. I'm excited to see what plays out. I am with Growing Empire. I thought Traffic Warden saddled up in brilliant order. I'm a big fan of First Settlers. He was on his best behaviour today too. He's a horse that can get a little bit colty and silly when the rider goes on. He's been really good. And the 2 girls, Lady of Camelot and Bellatrix Star, they both look sensational. But what a race. I'm really looking forward to seeing Growing Empire here.
Well, it's between 2 horses now on the sports bet book, say punters. Growing Empire, Amy's pick of the yard, one of those, and also Traffic Warden. The top 2, they're the liability in the book. So Growing Empire, $3.70, out slightly from $3.50, but holding a great deal of money on a big Saturday, and he trims back up Traffic Warden into $3.90. All right, and $6 next best, Switzerland.
Chris, you got 2 lovely horses here that are presented in fantastic order. Let's start with Switzerland. How's he?
He's very well. He's comes down from Sydney with a good win. Next to his name, he's got his confidence back, which was the key to getting him to a race like today. So obviously this race means so much to these Colts values. So to be able to win it, it'll be pretty special.
Talk me through Gatsby. How's he been?
He hasn't quite had the same preparation as Switzerland. They're running similar races, but things just haven't gone his way. So we've got blinkers on today just to help him sharpen up and make sure that he can bounce back to some better form. He is capable, but he needs to improve.
In an ideal situation, how would you like the race to plan out for both of your horses?
We've drawn in the middle, so ideally you get a little bit of cover. Not as bad today because it's a strong tailwind all the way down the straight. So, yeah, just midfield, holding up, hoping that they can stay with them so they can be strong in the finish.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Adrian Bott joins us ahead of the Coolmore. He and Gay Waterhouse have the Golden Slipper winner at 2 in Lady of Camelot, chasing some riches at 3. How's she paraded, Adrian?
Yeah, excellent. I thought she played really well, handled the occasion nicely. The day hasn't gotten to her by any means. I guess she's used to a few big days now, but yeah, she's handled it very well.
Well, that temperament seems to manifest itself on race day. What a tough effort it was in the Everest. She took no ill effects from that?
No, not at all. Bounced out of it really, really good, and that gave us full confidence to push down here. We always sort of kept our options open. Yeah, obviously wanted to make that our grand final, the Everest, but the way she came out of it, still thought there was plenty of racing left and potentially a little bit of improvement as well, the way she did during the week. So, yeah, she's arrived here in good shape.
Small sample regarding straight racing today, but do you and Tim and the team have a feeling that you might have got a draw that you can put to your advantage?
Look, I think we've got a couple of nice horses around us that have got a bit of tactical speed and that might sort of take us into the race. You know, so expect them probably to all sort of work towards the middle, and you know, Tim's got a few options, but yeah, a couple of key horses that we can would be around.
Good luck.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, it's a ripper race, isn't it? So many chances, Michael. What was your take on it? Who would you like to be riding?
I think I'm not out of the ordinary. It's Growing Empire for me because of the reason Mark Zara's back on him, and I'd love to see him do it.
Yeah, he's a real talent, no doubt about that. And there are the runners behind the start. They're starting to load up here. The Group 1s begin right here. Let's go to Matt Hill.
The gates, Lady of Camelot to go up rideless. Moving forward at the top of the famous straight 6, and Bodyguard goes into the stalls. They're slowly filling the gates. Traffic Warden on VOP is $3.50 out to $4.20. Growing Empire has gone forward, well supported as well, $3.80 VOP. So what a terrific race it is, as Coleman, who looks so relaxed, wouldn't even know he was at the races, with the ears pricked behind the gates, about to load in. Enriched is about to join them as well, with also Stolly Bolly. There's Gallant Son. Peter Moody won this race with Headway 15 years ago in 2009. Filling the stalls well, Coleman going in. Bitter Creek, the Valley winner from last week, is going to be one of the last. Gatsby's now joining them. The Coolmore Stud Stakes, as Enriched is going to be the final one. Could be a stallion-making race, this one, as Enriched goes in. And the field is locked away, or getting a little bit edgy is Traffic Warden, an attendant going in with him in barrier number 3. Set to go racing. Switzerland broke away very, very well in the middle of the field, with Traffic Warden, Lady of Camelot, and Growing Empires right up there too. And speed shown by Yoshinobu over towards the flat side rail. Bodyguard is going to lead. Traffic Warden, Lady of Camelot, and Yoshinobu. Growing Empires up with the leaders in the middle of the track from Coleman Gatsby's. Then came Stolly Bolly. Switzerland behind those horses now after a fast start. Then Gallant Son, First Settler, Bellatrix Star, Bitter Creek as well back with Enriched. So the front runner Bodyguard for Hugh Bowman, and sprinted away about 4 lengths in front coming onto the course proper from Yoshinobu second. Then Traffic Warden, Lady of Camelot, Stolly Bolly. Then Growing Empire up the middle of the course, 4 off the front. Coleman next from Bellatrix Star, Switzerland, Gallant Son, First Settler, and Gatsby's is waited with. They got to the leader, and now Lady of Camelot, Growing Empire go through, with also Stolly Bolly and Switzerland right down the outside. At the 150, Switzerland sprints hard, takes the lead, draws a length in front, 2 lengths in front. This is going to be dominant. Switzerland a big winner by 2.5, Bellatrix Star. Photo third, Growing Empire or Lady of Camelot from Stolly Bolly. Then Gatsby's Coleman. Back behind them, Bitter Creek, First Settler, Traffic Warden, Gallant Son, Yoshinobu, Enriched, and after going hard, Bodyguard knocked up to finish last in the Coolmore Stud. James McDonald again. Switzerland has raced away for a dominant display. Did it at both ends too. Having a look at the overhead shot, clearly jumped a length in front of anything else in the race. Then James McDonald was able to find a position back in the ruck and make sure this colt came with a hard burst. And James McDonald has now won this race 3 of the last 4. Home Affairs in 2021, In Secret in 2022, and now Switzerland, and Chris Waller wins it for the 6th time in the last 11 years. They've got a key to the race, Chris Waller and James McDonald. Switzerland is the winner at $6.30 and $2.55 on the World Pool Tote, defeating number 14 Bellatrix Star. The filly has run her best race of her life to run second in a Coolmore Stud Stakes. She's a terrific horse. Blake Shin for Mark Walker. And third is a real humdinger, very close between Lady of Camelot, Growing Empire. They raced very close together and their heads are in unison. So the judge is having a look at that. 108.3 is the time. 108.3. 5 beats 14, and it's a photo for third. And amazing, after James McDonald seemingly had that monkey on the back trying to get the 100th the win last week. It was really playing on his mind, I think, and now he's been able to get that with Via Sistina riding out of his skin this afternoon with multiple winners and another win in the Coolmore Stud Stakes, winning it for the 3rd time in the last 4 years. It's 5:14 and a photo after race 6.
Yeah, Waller and J-Mac once again, and it's a race that they are making their own, the Coolmore, and well, this was a terrific ride. Just bounced so well out of the gates, Michael.
Yeah, definitely. The ride, to see him do that when you jump so well and wanting cover, as we've spoken about today, was an outstanding ride. You know, a lot of Bellatrix Star, she's from second, but Chris Waller, grand final trainer, there's none better.
Yeah, and executed to perfection. Just smothered up Simon midfield and unleashed late. She Switzerland, he was terrific. He just burst through, and that was an amazing performance.
Yeah, it's an amazing win by Snitzel. He's bred in the purple. There's a plan of Chris Waller's to dodge all the features in Sydney and train him for that Coolmore like he's won it 6 times now. He knows what he's doing. But it was the start. When they opened up the barriers, you could see First Settler just jumped sideways, and it was Growing Empire, that jumped sideways and squashed with 3 other runners, and that allowed James McDonald, who pinged the lids and just land beautifully. That first furlong was very soft. He only had 1,000 metres to run, and that was First Growing Empire that ended up leading, like we mentioned, in that speed map early doors, Lady of Calamanite. What we're seeing down the straight here, though, Hutchie and Mickey, is they're coming down the middle of the track. They're staying off the outside fence. They're happy to come right up the middle of the track there. But once he came out from behind the hind quarters of the leader, he let rip and it was all over.
Well, look, the race, Bodyguard went out and went really hard. That's what we've got to say. I mean, it set up a strong tempo, and then once he jumped well, J-Mac, to bury himself in amongst them, he got onto the back of the favourite, Growing Empire, and then it was just a matter of just going to wait, I'm going to stalk, and then I'm going to produce when I need to. So it was a plan that was really well executed, but there was a bit of a spanner in the works with all that speed and Bodyguard for Hugh Bowman. He really just set a very quick tempo.
How many times do we see in this Coolmore, Michael, as we've got a dead heat for third coming through, how many times do we see in this Coolmore, in these Group 1 straight races, that horse that's just sitting in behind that cover of horses like that, gets the slipstream, and at the clock tower just ping and then open them up?
Yeah, even though it's a tailwind and it's pushing you up the straight, getting that cover that you need is just outstanding, and it's good to see Bellatrix Star, the ex-Kiwi, to come on and run second and a filly, and obviously the 2-year-old New Zealand form stacks up.
Well, she jumped from the outer side there. Look in the Tangerine with the corded cap to your left screen. She's going across to the middle. She ends up going closer to the middle of the track and then heading inwards, unlike Crosshaven did, who started in and came out late in the day. So watch Bellatrix Star there in the Tangerine, just in behind Gatsby in the red, and there's Switzerland in the navy blue. Coleman's in front of them, and then it unfolds. As Hutchie mentioned, they really open them up with Bodyguard, but he's the magic man. Chris Waller does it again for the 6th time.
And we'll hear from him now.
A remarkable 6th Coolmore Stud Stakes for Chris Waller since the race became a Group 1 in 2006. Number 6 comes with an outstanding performance from Switzerland. Chris, well done. Take us back, though, to mid-September when he has his first start at 3 and a run to the Rose, and you had a bit of work to do to get the train back on the track.
Yeah, he did, but we've got a great team that have got us back on track. Yeah, he just got excited and hurt himself and got agitated, and yeah, it was just one of those things that young kids do, and that's all he is. He's a teenager. He's finding his way. He became a man, I thought, last start with a dominant win, and the writing was on the wall that a Group 1 wasn't far away. So to win a stallion making a race like this, it's a big deal. This week is so many great stories, but for the Colts, this is the race you have to win. So, yeah, I'm privileged to be training these types of horses because I didn't get them when I started, but now, yeah, it's a privilege.
Could it have been a little bit beneficial that the issue in the runs of the Rose meant he hasn't had as many runs as some of those that went to races like the Everest?
I'm not sure. It's hard to quantify things in racing, but yeah, if you're patient, you look after your horse, they look after you.
Do you believe he was a length in front, 2 seconds in?
No, I could see he jumped well, he settled well. James was just sitting on him, not quietly, and that was the pre-race plan. Be where he's comfortable. It was as simple as that.
Obvious benchmark for him is home affairs, given the ownership and the jockey. What's the plan for him for the remainder of his 3-year-old season?
Well, the beauty of winning a Group 1 race, it takes a little bit of pressure off. We've got to just now maintain his values. So logically, races like the Newmarket and Royal Ascot would be in our considerations.
Chris, congratulations on a 6th Coolmore.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was an eventful race, but no doubt one horse stood and put his hand up above all the rest. Lovely ride from James, well programmed by Chris Waller, and this was quite an incredible performance, and another Group 1 for J-Mac.
Yeah. An embrace between James McDonald and Chris Waller, and a few giggles as well. They combine once again to win the Coolmore. This time it comes with Switzerland. James, he was a length in front of everyone, 2 strides in, but the plan was covered. So talk us through how you've got to, I guess, fight a few things and some urges to take advantage of that and bring him back to come under you.
Just absolutely delighted, to be fair. To answer your question, he's got the most beautiful nature, and he allows me to do whatever I want on him. He's so push button, and when he's so alertly away, I just sat on him and let the race unfold around him, and he allowed me to do that, and he makes the jockey's life so easy. But such a talented colt. He's got gears to burn, and after his jump out here the other day, we were cooking with gas. He went super.
I believe the upside this guy might have, we've got to sort of celebrate what's just happened now, but what this guy might be capable of given what he's doing and the manner he's doing it.
Yeah, for sure. He's got more to come, but he's got well above average ability. He's got an absolute brilliant demeanour. He's got an incredible turn of foot, and he can sustain it for a long time. He's got all the attributes to be a top sprinter, and there's 2 races probably here in the autumn that he's got a big circle around them, but obviously he'll thicken up, he'll develop, he'll get stronger and better. He's a beauty.
Maybe a trip back to the Northern Hemisphere to come in the winter. Well done on 101.
Hopefully Ryan doesn't pinch the ride. Thanks.